Welcome back to my YouTube channel Linguistic and Literature Notes. In today's video we are going to discuss about T.S Eliot, Thomas Stearns Eliot, who was born on September 26, 1888 in St. Louis, Missouri in Midwestern America. If we talk about his British citizenship, then at the age of 25 he moved to Britain and attained British citizenship in 1927. If we talk about his nickname, then his nickname was Tom. If we talk about his father's name was Henry War Eliot. He was a successful businessman. He was a Boston Brahmin rooted in England, but T.S. Eliot's grandfather had moved to St. Louis, Missouri, America. If we talk about his mother's name was Charlotte Champ Stearns. She was a poet and social worker. She had 6 children and T.S. Eliot was the last child. If we talk about his education, then he attended Smith Academy for early education and then studied Latin, ancient Greek, French, German there. After that, studied at Harvard from 1906 to 1909 and graduated in philosophy. He also earned a Master of Arts in English Literature. From 1911 to 1914, he was studying Indian philosophy and Sanskrit. If we talk about his love life, at Harvard he met Emily Hale and fell in love with her. They exchanged letters during 1914 to 1915, but they didn't meet again until 1927. Later, when he was of 25, he met Vivienne Haywood, who was Cambridge governess. If we talk about his married life, then he married with Vivienne Haywood at Hampstead Register Office on 26 June 1915. His first wife, Vivienne Haywood, died in 1947. Then he married second time with his private secretary, Valerie Fisher, in 1957. If we talk about his literary career, he began to write poetry when he was of 14. His first published poem was A Fable for Feasters. It was written as a school exercise and was published in the Smith Academy Record in Feb 1905. He also published 3 short stories in 1905, Birds of Prey, A Tale of a Whale, and The Man Who Was King. The marriage was not happy because of Vivienne's health problems. They formally separated in 1933. If we talk about his work, he was a famous modern poet, playwright, and critic. He met Ezra Pound in 1914. He was Eliot's literary mentor who got his poems published and aided him in receiving critical acclaim. If we talk about his first major poem, then it was The Love Songs of J. Alfred Prufrock. It was published in a magazine of verse. Ezra Pound persuaded the magazine editor to publish that poem, and later that poem was published separately as a part of Eliot's first collection of poetry, Prufrock and Other Observations, in 1947. The title of this song has been taken from Rudyard Kipling's poem, The Love Song of Herdial. His next major work was The Wasteland. It was first published in the Criterion. This poem was dedicated to Ezra Pound and referred him as Il Miglior Fabbro, or the better craftsman. The poem was criticized for being too obscure and complex. The poem reflects the moral and spiritual decay in the post-World War in Europe. If we talk about his essays, then his essays, Tradition and Individual Talent, 1920, and Hamlet and His Problems, 1920, made him a famous modern critic. In his essay, Tradition and Individual Talent, Eliot defined poetry as not a turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion, not the expression of personality, but as escape from personality. If we talk about Eliot's volume of plays, then first we have Murder in the Cathedral, published in 1935, The Family Reunion, published in 1939, The Cocktail Party, published in 1949, The Confidential Clerk, published in 1954, The Elder Statesman, published in 1959. If we talk about his awards, he was awarded Nobel Prize in Literature for his pioneer contribution of poetry. If we talk about his death, he was died on January 4, 1965 in London. His ashes were placed in St. Michael Church, East Coker, his ancestral village, on 17th April 1965. Thank you so much for your participation. if you like the video, please subscribe my YouTube channel Linguistic and Literature Notes, and don't forget to press the bell icon for more updates.